Yeah, welcome to the latest Racer X Exhaust podcast brought to you by Yoshimura and Insta360. I am Jason Weigandt and I am wearing glasses, which I don't think anyone's ever seen me do on camera before. These are the red eye specials, meaning when I'm flying overnight and have to sleep on a plane, shouldn't do that with contact lenses in. I put the glasses on. But now I literally have a red eye because I had an eye procedure done last Tuesday. It's the off season, man. You got to get all those surgeries done, all the nips and tucks to be ready for Anaheim. So apologize if the eye looks weird or just me wearing glasses makes me look even worse than usual. But we had to do it because we had the opportunity to do a Jorge Prado podcast actually with Jorge Prado instead of a Prado pod where we just talk about him. And boy, did we talk about him a lot throughout the year. Everyone did. This was probably the most dramatic, dynamic story of the summer. Jorge and his way under expectations summer with Monster Energy Kawasaki, which led to a divorce. So he had a 3-year deal with the team. He only races for them for 1 year, and he has moved to Red Bull KTM. And in some ways, that is moving back to Red Bull KTM. Now, technically, Jorge won his MXGP 450 world titles on a Red Bull gas. But KTM gas, it's all about the same. He's definitely advertising this as a return home because it's all within the KTM family. And he was on KTM before they moved him over to the gas side. So that part, that's interesting enough, right? How will he do back in a familiar machine? But I think the juicy stuff that everyone really wants to know is what went wrong on the Cowie side. And in full disclosure, I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to get those answers. Not now, not ever. My suspicion is there were many hoops that Jorge had to go through to get out of the remaining 2-year deals on his Monster Energy Kawasaki contract. And I believe one of them is he has to agree to not talk trash on them, and they have to agree to not talk trash on him. Some people have reached out to Kawasaki people who have said there's nothing more to say. Jorge told me before this, I've said everything I need to say with my Instagram post at the end of the year. I believe there is an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement to, okay, we're going to divorce, but you're not going to talk trash on us anymore. That's contingent on that. So I'm just being honest with you folks. I would have loved to have heard what the heck went wrong because I was there. You remember a weed show I did pre-Pro Motocross with Jorge testing at Club MX, and he had full confidence. And then a year ago on this podcast, he basically said after racing the gas and a couple Supercross races at the beginning of 2024, he knew everything he needed to know. Meaning he wanted to get on a different bike, and then he did. And then he didn't like that bike. The mind boggles. And I know that Jorge is not popular with the fans because of all this right now, but I am going to put out a theory that I do discuss with him in this show. Part of the reason I think that this season not only didn't go well results-wise, but it wasn't received well perception-wise by fans is because he is a racer's racer. And by that I mean, I think he has a very one-track mind mentality. First, he believes what he believes, and he tells you what he believes, and that's it. I think people wanted to see him take blame or accountability for whatever went wrong. Some of it, maybe he takes 20% of the blame. But sometimes what makes a racer successful is not doing anything that dings their own confidence. He believes what he believes, and he's trying to not have too much other stuff going on up here. Clearly, he didn't think the Kawasaki was good for him. Clearly, he now thinks the KTM is better, and that's it. And I was worried when Prado came over here that there was going to be this cultural divide where generally the European riders that we get that come over here are just, for whatever reason, less filtered. They just say what they think. You might like what they think. You might hate what they think. They just tell you anyway. The Americans, for some reason, American racers, athletes, coaches in any major sport, they couch everything they're going to say. They're never truly telling you everything's a humble way to not say something that creates controversy. They literally call it coaches speak in the NFL. Everything they're doing is just to try to make it a nothing burger. I don't think the Europeans do that. And then even more so, I don't think riders from Spain, specifically in Europe, do that. This is what Prado believes. You might not believe him, but this is what he believes. And from an athlete's perspective, sometimes it's better to just think, yeah, man, I'm all good. I'm good. Nothing wrong with me. Because confidence is king. So we're going to unlock some of that with Prado here. I wish I could have asked him about Callaway, but he wasn't going to talk about it. And you probably saw some Prado interviews when the KTM team was announced at the beginning of the month. And notice, no talk of Kawasaki. I'm just being honest with you, folks. It's not going to happen. But we'll talk about 2026 and beyond here with Red Bull KTM. Want to thank our sponsors. That's Yoshimura, always on board with the Exhaust podcast. You can look at the poster behind me. That's old school Jet Lawrence. Got the Yosh on there. That was the old Geico Honda team. All the way through now, the factory Honda squad. The Lawrence brothers still running Yosh. And they've got products, whether you're a Honda guy, Triumph guy, Suzuki guy, Yamaha guy, KTM, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, whatever bike you've got, they've got an exhaust for you. And specifically, they have a new one, a RS exhaust for the Honda 300. Honda makes a 300, you're saying? They do. It's not a motocross bike. I love the tweener bikes. They have the 300L and the 300L Rally Edition. This is a liquid-cooled, 4-valve per cylinder, 300 four-stroke. It's not a punched-out CRF 250R, unfortunately. But the good thing about it is I like these tweener bikes. This bike is street legal. It costs about half of what the motocross bike does, and you know it's going to be super reliable, and you can make it a little bit more powerful, a little lighter, a little cooler looking, a little cooler sounding with the Yosh exhaust for the Honda CRF 300L and Rally. So go to yoshimura-rd.com. You're talking 6 to 8% power gains, depending on which version of the system you get, 2 to 3 pounds less weight. It's a Honda, it's a Yosh. It goes perfect together. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. Also, shout out to Insta360. They're the ones that actually help set this up because they are a sponsor of both this show and Prado himself. And we've got a deal for you. Holidays are coming. Give the gift of epic footage. Insta360's new X5 captures your rides in stunning, I didn't even know this existed, 8K, 30 frames per second 360. Now, the good thing about the 360 is that you can shoot first and edit later. If you're a moron like myself, you're definitely going to aim the camera the wrong way. You're either going to be shooting your rides straight at the gas tank or straight up at the sky. But the 360, you could just go into the app and just adjust it. I don't know how much Jorge Prado and I have in common, but he admits that he's not much of a media camera guy also, but he's able to use the app to edit the footage to make it look better for himself as well. So that's Insta360. That's the advantage of the 360 action cam. Head to store.insta360.com. That's store.insta360.com. And use the code RACERX, that's all capitals, no space, RACERX, and get a free $50 mic air with your X5 purchase. That's the first 30 orders only. Okay, we got Jorge Prado here. I never wear glasses on this show. I had a little eye surgery, so I just apologize to everyone if you're looking at my gross eye. It doesn't look too bad. In person, it's worse. You, sir, are you the most relieved guy on the planet right now? Like, you have the job you want, and you're getting to go to work every day where you want to work. Like, do you feel a sense of, like, joy, relief? Like, yes, this is what I want.
Well, I'm very happy right now. Yes, I kind of enjoy riding again a lot. Every day every day I go to the test track. It's a good day of riding, and I can just enjoy riding the dirt bike. That's why we do it, and it feels good. Feels good to be back home, back in a team that I know for forever. This will be my 14th season racing for the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing Team, so you can imagine we know each other very, very well, and it just feels good. Yeah, feels good after a rough 25. Feels good to enter or into the 26 off season this way, and yeah, very, very happy. And like you said before, like you mentioned, I'm enjoying it, and that's very cool.
Dude, are you like extra motivated because of how bad the season went? And I'm sure you want to remind everybody how good you are. Are you extra motivated, or is it just like a normal off season?
I mean, I would say it's more like a normal off season,
Okay.
but I understand what you're saying by maybe people maybe were a little bit hard on me and maybe trying to show that I'm not as bad as they think or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't need to show anyone who I am because I think the guys that know already, they already know my level. So I'm very motivated because it's I started training early for the 26 Supercross. I'm actually motivated because of that, because this year I have more time to prep myself, and I feel like I'm already in a better spot, and I still have over 1 month and a half before the round one. So I'm very motivated because I feel like this year in Supercross I can be um, pretty ready, even though I'm still rookie into Supercross. So yeah, I think 26 will be a very good year. I'm happy to be back with the KTM guys and go for it in 26 with them. Feel good with the bike, feel good with my program. So I'm very motivated because I'm like, okay, let's go, and it's now time to hammer and get and achieve my goals. Right. That's why I came over to the States, and it's more because of that.
Yeah, it's not like this is the revenge tour or anything like that. You're doing your deal.
No, I
You're
mean
just doing your thing.
there's no revenge.
Yeah,
There's no revenge because I couldn't ride to my potential. So there's no revenge. I'm still the same guy, maybe even better. So um yeah, we I came over to the States with my with a goal of ever getting a Supercross title and a Motocross title, and I didn't achieve it in 25. So yeah, I'm still in that way to keep grinding and trying to achieve my goals. That's my mentality.
gotcha. Hey, you know what's unfair for you? The Supercross thing. Obviously, you only got basically 2 races in. I know people are going to look at like, oh, he crashed in Supercross, but how much of that injury was the old injury that you said you were nursing the whole time? Was that just like, Supercross got me, or was that actually previous that kind of knocked you out?
Well, I think if I would have, if I didn't have that previous injury, maybe with that crash that was pretty much nothing, I would be okay and continue the series. But because my shoulder wasn't 100%, then, I dislocated my shoulder and I really needed surgery. So I see it just I was lucky for the last years. I clinched my two MXGP titles with not a perfect shoulder. So now that my shoulder is healed and I could get the surgery, now I'm fine. But you know that crash was not as bad to get surgery. It was more because my shoulder wasn't 100%. That was the cause of it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask that because it's not like, oh, look at that, man. He only made it to the third Supercross race before he got hurt doing Supercross. You probably wouldn't have
No.
gotten hurt. You probably wouldn't have been hurt.
No, I mean, I crashed. I didn't even crash on the track. I crashed. I went over the berm and then I hit the net. And when I hit the net, my arm went backwards, and then that popped my shoulder out. But it wasn't even hard. It was very. I mean, my shoulder popped out very easily. So I was just lucky. I see, like, I was lucky the last years, and I was unlucky right now. But I was very lucky the last years after the first dislocation, like shoulder dislocation. So, I mean, at one point it had to happen, and it happened in 25 in the second or third round of Supercross.
Yeah. You mentioned the 14 years with KTM. How well did you know the American side, the Roger Ian side? Because I know you were super tight with your DeCarly team over there. Do you know them, or is it still somewhat new? What's that relationship like?
So actually, I know them since 2012 because they came over, or 2013 because they came over to Spain for a Red Bull event,
Okay.
and then Ken Roxham came over, Ryan Dungey, the whole KDM stuff. And then I met everyone. I was only in the 85. And then I met all these guys. And then I came over again in 2015 to the States. And then I was with them as well. So, and we always kept the relationship. So, I mean, yeah, it's the first time we will work together, but the relationship has always been there. The connection has always been there. So it feels like normal for me in a way.
Yeah, and then a little bit. I mean, you raced a couple Supercrosses there at the beginning of 24, right? So I'm assuming that brief time you were also working with them.
Well, yes and no, because I was in the gas.
Oh, what are they a little different?
So
Hmm.
so it was different,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I got to hang out with them at the test track and stuff. So I mean, like I said before, relationship has always been there, the
Yeah.
connection.
Oh, but that 24 gas, it was a little different. It wasn't exactly what you're doing now. There was a little bit different people somewhat in 24.
Yeah, I mean, the bike it's different to the one we are riding right now, and
Oh.
I think I think there is a big step, and it was nice to actually feel that improvement, right? Because first time I got back on the KTM, I told the guys, I said, "Hey, this is not the bike I rode last time here in the US. Like, this is way better, you know."
Hmm.
Like, but I was happy. I was happy to see that there was such a big improvement in the time I was, let's say, not writing for them. And I could really feel the difference because I also went back to what I was writing in 24 when I wrote Supercross, and then went back again to what my current setup, So it was a good test, and I was happy to see, the improvement. It's always nice. Yeah, the people right now in the team, they're super supportive, and we are like, every day at the test track, trying to get better and trying to give me tips to improve my riding or improve the bike. But I think we are in a good spot with the bike right now.
I'm glad you said that because I was gonna have to call you out. I was gonna have to because a year ago we actually talked on this show, and you're like, "Yeah, I rode the gas in 24 in Supercross." So it's not the same. Like you kind of implied then that it wasn't maybe all you were hoping it would be, and it is better now for 26 than maybe what you had the last time you rode it 2 years ago at Anaheim and all that.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, me as a rider, I try to improve and get better every year, and that's the same with the manufacturer. KTM, um, they really work hard on getting the bike better, and they did. So I mean, it's normal. The years go by, and you just need to step it up. Competition, it's always trying to be better. So you can't stay still. You gotta keep grinding and keep getting better. At the end of the day, this is racing. Only winning matters. So, yeah, I think, like I said before, there was a step, and for 26, our bike, it's better than 2 years ago, which is normal and good.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you want. Um, have you learned also, like, look, each year, I would imagine your supercross skills are just going up, 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 up very quickly. So are you probably even better yourself? And then that makes you could probably learn the bike better or figure out what you want in a bike better than you probably could 2 years ago. Am I making that up, or is that help too? That as you get better, the bike gets better, and then they each get better. Is that possible?
Yep, that's possible too. Plus, I think maybe even now, when I got back on the KDM, I almost felt like I told them I felt like the bike it's now allowing me to improve because it's on a good, very very good level.
Yeah.
So I feel very safe.
Hmm.
I feel safe. I could feel safe when I got back on the KDM and be like, okay, I can take my time because if I overjump something, if I case something, if I go wrong in the whoops, whatever, the bike has such a good setup that it's allowing me to get confidence. When you're a little bit off and then something happens, then it causes a crash, and then if you crash, you lose the confidence. So you know that also helps with confidence, having a good setup. And then once you get the confidence and you step up, with the speed, then obviously you and the bike need to go up together, right? Progress together. But yeah, I mean, confidence is very, very crucial for me that I'm a rookie still in Supercross, right?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, as you move up, you need the bike to get better, the bike to move up with you, and it sounds like those two things are happening together. Hey, another thing about the bike. Look, I know the trend in the sport is to ride at the low RPM, but you are like a whole nother level, and then we know there's a million advantages to that. But I swear, trackside, you ride a lower RPM than anyone I hear. Like Roxon did it for a while. You're even lower. When you get on this KTM, does it give you that feeling you want, where you're like, "Yep, that's where I want it. That's where I want the hit, the power, all that." Because I swear I can barely hear you when you're on the track. Sometimes you're at such low RPM.
Well, I think I'm able to understand the KDM engine very well, and I grew up racing always with a KDM and working with the KDM guys, working on the engine, trying to make the engines better, and that gives me also a better idea where I should run, how I should run the engine. So for me, when I got now back on the KTM, it just feels very normal to feel the right spot for me to ride it, and it's an engine that you can really ride it like myself or even on higher RPMs like all the riders, So but I think I can take the best out of the engine riding it in the lower RPMs, and plus it's more my style. So it's a good fit.
Well,
We
that's what I was
fit.
getting at. Like, can you instantly feel that? Like, yep, that's what I'm looking for right there.
Yes. It's not for me. It's normal. So it's not like, oh, I discovered something. No, for me, it was normal to write it like that. So when I got back, I'm like, okay, this is just how it needs to be for me, for my writing style. So yeah, the KDM has a very good engine. It's very clean and very good from the bottom, and that helps with my writing style for sure.
Okay, quick timeout here for Insta360, sponsor of this show. The Insta360 X5 camera is made for dirt bikers because you can swap out scratch lenses in seconds, or if you have a worse problem after a crash, you can swap those lenses out. And the flow state stabilization keeps your footage smooth, whether you're hitting whoops, riding over rocks, roots, jumps, scrubs. Again, Prado and I are not the same. Maybe I can ride over rocks and roots. I'm not whipping or scrubbing. But either way, the flow state stabilization means they've got a shot that's nice and steady. Also, thanks to Yoshimura for backing our show. Whether you rode a Cowie or a KTM, they've got an exhaust for you. Now, another thing, you were asked a million times at the press day about works bike versus production bike. I feel like you've answered this question over and over. It seems like you said, yeah, it's not that different. It's not. Can you explain that here? It's not that big a deal that this is a production bike.
Well, I can put again the example I already did. The first day I went back outdoors with the KTM, and they had my 24 setup, suspension setup ready, so I could feel at home right away. So you would imagine that with everybody calls it like a works frame. Maybe I get a different feeling now with this one, but I already said it. KTM, it's a bike that out of the box, it's ready to race, and that means that to get it, you ride it, and it feels good. And that's what happened to me. I put my old setup, and it was working. So for me, there was not a difference because the thing is, people think that yeah, you're allowed to change things in MXGP, right? For the World Championship, but it doesn't mean that we are changing it. Because imagine if this is working, why would we need to change it? Yeah, we are allowed to, but if it's working, we don't need to change it, right?
Yeah, you weren't like, hey, we had 3 different frames we used for different tracks all year. We had our sand frame, we had our hard pack frame.
No,
It was not
no,
anything like that.
no. I mean, like I said, the frame KTM has, it's a very good frame, and it works. So we didn't really have to change it, you know?
Yes, right. So you took your 24 suspension on the production frame, rode it, and you're like, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. I mean,
Yep.
I rode this week again, one day outdoors, and we got back with my suspension on a very different track, a bit more sandy and with more bumps. So I could, if there was a difference, I would be okay. I can feel it here, but there was no difference. Like the bike felt good. So this is also a relief because it was also on my head, right? I'm thinking, oh, maybe the European, the bike I was using in Europe, maybe felt different, but no, I got back to this bike and we put my suspension and it was working. And now also we have a base setup coming to outdoors, right? We know that that's working. So it's a little bit of or a relief too.
Oh, that's funny. So you weren't even sure yourself. You just found out the right way by riding it. You weren't sure.
Yeah,
You
because
had to ride
at
it.
the end of the day, you hear
Yep.
people saying things and you're like, well, maybe there is a difference, but I'm honest about my feelings, and if it wasn't feeling the same, I would say, okay, it's not feeling the same, but
Yeah.
it did feel good. So
There you go.
that's it.
Look, man, I think you're honestly honest to a fault. I was almost worried that this would happen for you this year. I feel like the riders that come from Europe, they don't filter their words. They just say what they think, which is awesome for media to get real answers. But I think most riders in America don't do that. And then when they get real answers from you, it shocks people because it's probably what every rider's thinking. They just don't say it. Have you ever thought of that? Like, why is it like what I'm saying doesn't seem to be interpreted the way that I think it is? Has that crossed your mind? I think it's almost a cultural thing. You just don't hold back like American riders do. Have you thought about that?
No, I really don't think. I'm just, I just do my thing and I try to be the best rider I can be. I know what I'm capable of, and if I'm saying right now that my goals are to win the motocross title in 26 and to perform very good in Supercross,
Yeah.
that's a reality.
Yep.
That's what I'm really thinking,
Yep.
and I'm not saying I'm gonna win it. I
Yeah.
say it's my goal to win it.
Yep.
And people, that people likes to change my words, but
Yeah. I
it's
think
not the
part of the problem
same
is
having a goal than saying, "Oh, I'm gonna win it." I
I
never
agree.
never said that.
But listen real carefully, man. We get to Anaheim 1. All the other contenders are going to be like, it's a long season, one race at a time. We're going to see, just want to find out where I'm at. Like, Americans do not, and if they don't like their bike, some guys will say something, but most of the time they hide. I just think that you just say what you think. And again, it's probably what most riders think. They just don't say it. And maybe that
Well,
hasn't
I
even run through
think
your mind, but I think it happened. I think it caught you.
well, I think when you don't say it, it's because maybe you're already trying to excuse yourself in case you don't perform, right?
Yeah, it could be.
If you are a title contender and you get to A1 and you're like, oh, my goal is to do a top five, then you're trying to make an excuse already before the racing starts. Because if you're a title contender, your goal is to win, and you're there to win, not to do a top five. So yeah, I mean, this happens in every sport, right? People it's scared to not achieve their expectations, and but that's fine. What's the problem with it? My goal for 25 was to win outdoors,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Yep.
But it's not a problem. But my goal for 26 is to win outdoors again. There's not a problem. Those are my goals, and if I can't achieve them, I wait, and then next year I try again. I'm not saying I'm gonna win it. I'm just saying my goal is to win it.
I,
And
I
my
know.
goal for 26 in Supercross, for example, it's to try to get better race by race, and hopefully at the end of the season I can be top five. That's my goal. Hopefully.
Yeah, like in outdoors, you're like, hey man, I should be winning. And I think people are like, whoa. But like you're saying, that probably is what you should be saying because that is the goal. That is what your expectation is to win outdoors. So when you were saying this summer, like, I should be winning, I think I'm like, dude, he's just being brutally honest. He's just telling you the truth. In your mind, you should be winning. That is what you're paid to do. It's probably not that crazy a theory, but I just think fans aren't used to it. So I feel like you got caught on the wrong side of that. You probably didn't even realize. But I think that's part of why people just aren't used to honesty. Sorry, not.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky enough. I really focus on myself, and like I said before, I know what I can achieve, and that's why I achieve those. That's why I put myself those goals high. It's high goals, but I mean, I came to the US for a reason. And that's it. And and if I tell you something else, then I'm not being realistic even to myself. So
Hey, what do they always say? If you don't believe it, you can't do it. Like, you have to. How are you going to achieve the goal if you don't set the goal where it is,
yes,
right?
exactly. And
Yeah,
then, but at the same time, you gotta be realistic. I can't be saying, "Oh, my goal is to win Supercross next year."
sure.
That's not realistic. So you gotta set your goals, but gotta be realistic.
Yes. Well, you're showing both right there. That you're even saying the difference in the two series is showing that you're just again you're just saying what's true, not trying to make something up. Um, that's cool. Did I hear you say that you're in California obviously now? Did I hear
Yes.
one of the interviews you said you might go to Baker's when you have to go to Florida? I don't know if you'd be working with Alden, but you have a place to ride at least.
Yeah, hopefully we go there to Baker's a few times. I think it will be good for me to ride some different tracks, also different dirt. I've been always riding in California. So Supercross tracks here in California are getting pretty hard, and I never ridden an East Coast SX track, Supercross track in my life.
Wow.
So for
Wow.
me, it's maybe interesting to go there and see some and ride some different conditions because at one point in the series we will go east, and I've never experienced that. So yeah, that's our goal, and especially for outdoors, I think training more in that area, I think it helps the performance. So yeah, I think should be a good place to go and ride.
That's where you're going to ride, but it's not Alden as your trainer. You're just riding there. Is that how that's going to work?
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
That's right.
You have your own pro. I'm trying to remember what were you doing that on your own, or you had someone you were communicating
I
with?
I have my own program that I follow, and I have some people helping me out, and for now, I mean, it's working, and I learned something, and what's working you better don't change. So yeah, I'm confident on my program, and I know it's good enough to achieve our goals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, because it's proven, right? You're basically going to do what you've
Yes.
done. Yes, yes. Hey, the starts. That really was your trademark. With the riding you've done in this KTM, are you like, yeah, I can get those back? And I don't even know if it was necessarily a bike thing last year. There's 100 things that changed from going from there to here. But should the fans expect to see, oh my gosh, this guy's really good at starts, which is what we were expecting last year?
Yeah, I think
You're
yes.
feeling
I
good.
think feeling good with the starts too.
Hey, when you
Should
and
be,
you
should be.
should be. And look, dude, your starts were good in the few Supercross races you have done. What is that feeling like? Look, if you whole shot a moto outdoors, I'm sure you're like, I got one goal and one goal only. I'm out of here. Supercross, some guys don't want to do that. If they don't think they can win, they don't want to lead. What is that experience like where you're like, nah, man, I'm still going for it, and what I get is what I get? Has that crossed your mind? Because some guys hide when they don't think they can win.
No, that's my mentality. I mean, if I get the start, then I'm not going to let the guys behind me pass me. I mean, I will try to fight and push as hard as I can, because I mean, when you start first, you only can go to like worse, you know? So you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to get worse. You at
Yep.
least want to be there. So yeah, try to hold on as much as I can up front. And if they pass me, try to learn from them and try to hold on. And yeah, I mean, will be a nice and hard situation for me. But I think I'm very used to running up front, and I think this will help me. As many whole shots as I get, I think my level will increase. And running up with the good guys, you know, I can learn a lot from them, and will bring for sure, like I said, my level up. And hopefully, the next race when I start first, instead of leading maybe I don't know 3 laps and then maybe four, and then the next one maybe five. You know, that's our goal.
Dude, I like you. You really just keep it simple. I feel like is all it is. Like you're not trying to come up with some crazy strategy. You're just like, hey, getting a good start is better than getting a bad start, and I'm gonna try to get the best starts I can, and I'm gonna try to learn as much as I can, and run up there for as long as I can. It's not very complex the way you're looking at this.
No, I mean it's not complex the way I'm talking about it, but it's complex to
For
stay
the
up front.
do.
You know,
Sure.
that's the difficult part. So
Yes.
that's why, like I said, you need time and you need experience. I mean, it's different running up front in Supercross than running up front in outdoors. Because I mean, I'm used to running up front in outdoors, but Supercross it's different. It's a tighter track. Maybe my speed is not, maybe not for sure. It's not my level in Supercross is not as high as in outdoors. So it just makes it everything more difficult. I need to learn and get better.
Yeah, but a lot of riders they would just not try to get good starts until outdoors start. But the difference is you're going to still go for it anyway. That's
Yeah, I mean, every time I'm behind the gate, my goal is to win. Like my goal is to win. So when you start up front, I mean, you want to win, even though maybe it's not realistic. Like you try to be as the best you can and try to achieve it. Why? Maybe I don't know. For some reason, maybe I can win. You know, like you never know. Like you never know. Maybe they crash. I don't know. I
yes.
don't know. So yeah, you just take it race by race and try to improve. That's it. That's how it works. You're trying to improve. I mean, I cannot expect to get to A1 and win, because I mean I've done only what four dry Supercross
Yeah.
races in my whole career. I
Yeah.
mean, compared to all the other guys, it's not realistic. So yeah, we are here to get better.
Hey, but even in okay, you only got 2 races in last year. Did you already learn from that? Like even when you walked into round 3 before you got hurt last year, were you already like, I've already picked up this, this, and this just from racing the first 2 rounds? Like, again, I got to imagine you're learning a ton quickly.
Yeah, I think it helped me with knowing the schedule,
Hmm.
how the program works a bit
Yep.
better, how the track develops. And so now when I'm training at the test track, I can imagine myself how it would be at the race, more or less. And yeah, I think it helped me. It helped me to understand how the track breaks down, what you need to do in certain occasion in situations. So for sure, I mean, the more races I do, the more I will learn.
Yeah. But even getting those 2 last year is something. Like, it wasn't, it
No,
would
it's
look
for
like you
sure
didn't.
something.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
good.
100%.
Yeah.
I learned for sure, 100%.
Yep. Uh, hey, let's talk Insta 360. I saw you actually have a vlog. It was episode 2. Was there an episode 1? I need to go back. You've had 2 of these already?
Yeah, so this year we started with the episodes, and the first one was earlier in the year, but now we are with episode two, back with KTM. So I actually explained a little bit what I've been up to the last weeks, and some projects we did too with Frinsa, and then some shots with the Insta 360. I've been using it for some riding, and it's cool, you know, because you can download everything so quick on your phone that as soon as you get back on, back at the car or back when you're resting, you can download to your phone. You're like, okay, I did this, and this. So it's pretty cool to have that, or even my dad to film, right? Because not everyone it's a good filmer. You just put a 360 at one and you can just film everything, and it's doing it for you.
Did you say it's your dad sometimes? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, if my dad wants to film something, I tell him, hey, just film with the Insta 360 because it's easy, you know? You just hold it like that. I said, don't move. And the camera is doing everything for you.
So it actually improved. He's better at shooting now that he has that. It's actually improved the quality that you're getting.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We just
That's
need to make
awesome.
sure it's on and that's it.
Okay. And you really do. Like, you'll really take the Insta 360 footage and check it on your phone, in between if they're working on the bike or something like that. You've done this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you can do it, especially like for example, you can be at the side of the track and filming the whoops, and then you can see how you hit the whoops and how the suspension's working and everything.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
Okay, so this is not just a thing, hey, it's cool for social media, it's cool for a vlog. You're using it as a tool on testing and all that.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%,
okay.
100%.
Oh,
Even
that's
for
good.
different lines when you put it on the helmet and with the different um how you call it, attachments.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you've ridden with it, not just someone shooting you, but you've ridden wearing it
Yes,
and
exactly.
even been able to learn from that. Oh, okay. I mean, look, you're not a professional media guy. If it's easy enough for you, like anybody's going to be able to use it. It's not even like your
Exactly.
shooting is not your job, but it's
No,
good enough for you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. And then in the vlog, you actually were doing the bicycle tricks and you ran into the thing and then you were able to fix it because it has the
Yeah.
lens you can change. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's super easy. I mean, I've done it, and like you said, I'm not a media guy, or I didn't know anything about cameras, or I even struggle with that. So if I could do it, and it's super easy. So you crash the camera, which is hard. It's hard to like break it,
Yeah.
but if you break the lens,
Yeah.
you have the replacement kit, and you just change it in what, like 3 minutes, 2 3
Yeah.
minutes.
Yep. Just don't smash into it with your bicycle. Right.
No, no, we we don't.
That was cool. Yeah. It seems like even from that vlog there, I mean, we never know how real the vlogs are, but it seems like you're having a good time. Like you're just enjoying life there in California, not just the riding part, but in general.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now I'm already 1 year living here. So you create your group of friends, and this is yeah, very helpful. You create your group of friends. I'm feeling happy with the bike, and I think that's almost the biggest difference, right? When you're happy doing what you love, it just makes the normal, let's say, normal life out of racing so much better. So yeah, I'm actually having a good time right now.
That's cool. Do you keep in touch at all now that you're back in the KTM fold with your old, some of your old crew back in Europe? I don't know if people even know that, like in Europe, there's a DeCarly team, there's a other KTM team, all that. Have you gotten back in touch with some of those people?
Oh yeah, we never stop.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, no. I mean, for me, it's like a family.
Hmm.
I've been there so many years, and our relationship has always been very close. And I speak, I would say, a few times per week with them, every week.
Wow. And even in
But yeah, yeah,
2025, you were like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
always. They
Yep.
always been connected, even to some of my friends and teammates from the past in from Europe. So I mean, it's yeah, it's nice because I mean they're obviously more happy now that I'm back.
Sure.
But even yeah, before this call, I was actually talking with them.
Oh, there we go. Hey, good to know. Hey, well, hey, they got different time zones, so you got to talk to them first.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I was talking in the morning because every time I get back from training or whatever, it's already too late there. So it's
Yes,
such a big difference in time that, or I call him as soon as I wake up, or it's too late.
that's right. Does it have a little bit of? I know that was like a family type of situation. Do you get a little bit of that vibe with the team you're on now? Because I think fans think of these factory teams as like these giant corporate machines, but it's really just 6 or 8, 10 guys. Do you get a little bit of that vibe from your team now?
Yeah, I mean, we have a great relationship, everybody in the team. It's just a great feeling, even when they come over to the test track. They're pretty much always there. The whole KDM guys like Ian, Roger, Carlos, they always come to the test track. So we build a good relationship, and that's making it more comfortable, and you can enjoy it more, right? So yeah, we have a great atmosphere at the team.
Sounds like you're in a good spot, man. You have to be relieved just to be like, okay, this vision is reality, and it's not like better than you even thought it would be. Like as soon as you got on the bike, you're like, no, it wasn't like in my head. It actually is good in reality. Yeah,
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 yeah. I mean, I knew what I was kind of expecting, but when I jump on it, I told them, I said, I think this is actually better than what I was expecting. I was
yeah,
expecting something good, but
yeah.
it's even better because they did a great improvement on the bike and on the whole setup. So yeah, I'm in a very good spot. And like I said, also in the beginning, we still have some time and we still can improve probably. So, but
Yeah.
we are already in a good spot.
Okay, one more shout out to the sponsors before we wrap up. Don't scroll. Don't scroll. Don't hit that 50 or 30-second thing. Shoot, I just gave you a tip. I shouldn't have done that. Another tip is the Insta360 camera. It has a wind guard, so you'll hear your bike, but not the wind when you're riding. So that's even better for your footage. Also, it's got a giant battery. The 2400 battery gives you over 3 hours of recording. So perfect for long rides or long days of the track in general. And you can add ND filters for natural or cinematic footage. It's like putting sunglasses on your lens. And the AI powered Insta360 app makes editing effortless and it allows for some time saving previews that automatically highlight the best shots. I don't even know how that's possible. But my gosh, if you have a 3 hour battery, having the AI say, maybe this is the best part, it's going to save you a lot of time in the editing process. So once again, it's store.insta360.com and type in the code RacerX, all capitals, no space, RacerX. And the first 30 people to do it will get a $50 Mic Air for free. Thanks to Yoshimura for backing our shows as always. Let's wrap this up with Jorge. Well, look, you got a really experienced group. You just mentioned all those guys. Like, if you want to get better at Supercross quickly, I mean, these are guys that have watched hundreds of riders do thousands of laps. So I'm sure they can help.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I'm at the test track, if they tell me something, I just like a little tip, advice, I just try to apply it and try my best to, take all those advices are, only positive for me. So take all of them and try to, get better every day, little bit, but little bit, and then, just be more ready.
That's it. All right. Well, thanks for the time. Thanks for doing this. This is our we did this a year ago. I don't know if you remember. It was like an
I
anniversary.
remember. I remember.
Because I think it was November. I think it was the same thing. Uh, Look, 25. There's nothing left to say about that. You're just moving on. Is that where you are with 25?
I mean, I learn a lot too. So,
Yep.
I mean, I take all the positives.
Hmm.
I got to know all the outdoor tracks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I learned that flying from California, it's pretty tough for outdoors
Yep.
too.
Yep.
I got to know how the tracks look like here in the summer, and I have some more experience. So for sure, you can always take positives out of a rough year. And even though it didn't go as planned, obviously, because like I said, my goals were others. But hey, life it's not easy, and you just need to go through the I wouldn't say bad times, just like not as good times, and then keep going, moving on. And like I said, now I'm in a good place and ready to achieve my goals in 26.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like it didn't ding your confidence or anything like that. It was other stuff going on. It's not like you started to doubt yourself and you need to rebuild yourself mentally or anything like that, right?
No, no, not at all. I didn't affect anything, and it even I think I mean if I was just sad I couldn't achieve my goals. That's the only thing. But it didn't affect me like, oh, I'm not as good, or no. I knew what was happening, and it just doesn't affect my confidence. I'm in full confidence right now, and then that's it. Easy.
That's it. I'm telling you, you just keep it simple and you just tell the truth. And that's I
Yeah.
don't know if people expect that all the time. Uh, I like it. And as far as yeah, I don't even know if you know the volumes of words that were written and said about you this year. You're probably I don't know if you even hear that stuff.
I mean, at the end of the day, you, for one of other reason, or you always hear something, but you know, um, one, people doesn't know situation. So they can't really have an opinion of it because they just don't know what's going on, right? So yeah, I can't listen to people that doesn't know my situation. So yeah, people just doesn't know, and it's free to comment, so everybody can have an opinion of everything, right? Like nowadays, and if I mean, there's a lot of jealousy, I think. It's easy, or I feel like sometimes people like to put others down, which is not the case because it's not possible to put me down, but they try,
Yep.
and they just, for me, in my eyes, they when I see those, for example, even some comments of people, it just makes me sad, just for them, not for me. Just
Okay.
it's sad that they think that way, right? Because they don't. It shows me that they don't know anything about the sport. And I mean, I'm not gonna be talking bad about someone like that without knowing the whole situation, you know. So it's a pity because it's I don't like negativity, you know. I think no one likes it, so it's nicer to keep it fun. And hey, 25 didn't go as good. Okay, we'll see what happens in 26. That's it.
I think there's like a
I'm
small.
easy.
I'm saying, man, you just keep it simple. I think there's a small compliment in all that where most of that comes from if you weren't good and people didn't think you were good and people didn't expect you to do good, they wouldn't have said anything. It's like if everyone figured you were like a 12th or 8th place guy and you were getting 12th or 8th, no one would have said a word. It's almost like, well, we all know this dude is good. He's not winning. And then it's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, there's almost a compliment of that shows the expectations that everybody has for your level. And then when they don't see it, they start talking about it. You probably didn't see it as a compliment, but I think that's part of the reason why people expect you
Well,
to
I
be good.
mean, to be honest, in a way, I can see that. I mean, I can understand if I'm also a fan of the sport and I see myself, coming to the States and then expecting him to do good in outdoors, and then I
Totally.
see his results not really matching the expectations. You're
Yes.
wondering why, and then
Yeah.
all this talk. But I also understand that. Like, I'm open, and I understand it's easy to how you call it, like to blame someone, and
Yeah,
it's
you're
very
just
easy.
trying to get an answer.
Everybody can do
Right.
it.
Everybody's trying to figure out like why, what's wrong, what's wrong. And if they thought you were going to get seventh and you were getting seventh, they wouldn't ask why because it would be normal. But when you're getting fifth and they think you could win, then it's like, what? What is it? What is it? So deep in all that is like a compliment to people expect you to win as you do. And when it doesn't happen, everybody's asking questions. So we'll
Yes,
see.
I mean, motocross, it's the same here, than in Europe, than in Asia, than in Africa.
Yeah.
Motocross, this dirt bike, it's the same.
Yeah.
The dirt, I mean, I've been racing the world championship. Every single track has a different dirt. It's not that here in USA, because we're in a different part of the world,
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
The people say, I heard that, oh, he needs to get used to the US. I mean, I laugh about it. I mean, it's
But you could have
US.
used that as
I
an
mean,
excuse, though.
yeah,
You could have
it's a
used that
bit
as an
different,
excuse.
but it's. I mean, we adapt. We are
Yeah.
writers. We need to
Yes.
adapt.
Yep.
Same way as if the guys from here go to Europe, they need to adapt. But we are able to do it. That's why we are who we are, right?
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, but again, that's just because you're honest. You could have easily used that as an excuse. Even if it wasn't true, you could have been like, look, man, I'm not used to 1 day format. I don't know these tracks. Everything's different. Like, you didn't take any of those excuses. I think most people would have tried to find excuses. You just didn't do it.
I
So,
mean, it's not a. I mean, I can't use it as an excuse
because you're
because
saying
it's
it's not
not
true.
true.
So it's not true. You're not going to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, you're honest, almost to a fault sometimes. Most riders would have grasped. They would have said they were sick, hurt, jet lagged, homesick, dirt tracks. They would have used anything, and you're just like, nah, I should be winning. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm just glad that you're getting a shot to, because again, I think people expect you to do well. They want to see more people up there. Glad you're getting another shot to do it your way. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm very glad I could get back to KTM. The guys, they welcomed me with open arms, and I couldn't be more happy. Keep going with our relationship, and I think you know, these last 2 years, it's only made it maybe stronger.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I could get again a possibility from them. And yeah, that also shows the respect to each other. And I'm very glad to ride with them.
I'm sure you've heard this phrase, don't know what you got till it's gone. You got to
Yeah.
learn that.
Yeah.
Now you're back.